Sometimes balance is a good thing. In fact, if you're designing the pyramids, it's a great thing. That's why the pyramids have been around forever. That's why they look so solid. That's why they've become iconic. But balance can also mean static. If we want to put life into our work, static and balance may be the last thing we want. By simply moving elements off center, we can change things tremendously. And this is another form of tension. If I'm designing a logo for the Alternative Energy Vehicle program at CU, I don't want things to feel balanced because it does feel static and it doesn't feel like they're playing with new ideas. If I simply move that pictorial element off center, it feels like things are in flux and in motion. That's what I want in my design work. That's why so many designers do this with logos, moving things out of center so that it feels like there's motion, absolutely critical to some types of design. This kind of hews back to our discussion of the rule of thirds. Dead center is not always the most impressive place to be. Off center, above the horizon, building some kind of tension into our work is a great idea. When we look at our Clarity guitar ad now with our friend Quentin, we see that when everything is stacked and everything is balanced, it feels as if there's not a lot of life. Moving things off center changes everything. That's a big deal for a guitar company. We don't want to feel static. We can tilt things as well. In that motorcycle ad, we saw that things were tilted, and tilting gave life. This is something that steps outside the normal design routine that people work with. And you see this used everywhere. You can barely drive down the street or look through a magazine or a newspaper without seeing tilted text telling us big sale this weekend or skis, half price. It's a great way to get people's attention to bring them in. If you're a film buff and you've seen the great Orson Welles movie, The Third Man, you're familiar with this. This is set in post-World War II Vienna. Quite often the camera is tilted on the Z-axis, so it's tilted from left to right, and it gives us a sense that things are in movement or in flux. In this particular film, it also gives us a sense that our point of view has been affected by the story. We can do the same thing with our Clarity guitar ad. Now we're taking Quentin and we're tilting her at a massive angle. It completely changes the feel of the ad, a tremendous amount of tension. It pulls the eye in. It makes us want to know more. Great trick. Whenever you're working with images, think about what might happen if we tilt them, or with text, or with other graphic design elements. There's a weird thing, though, and I think it's cultural. In our society, when we tilt things counterclockwise, it looks good. And I think this is because we read from left to right. When we tilt them clockwise, it doesn't feel right. It feels like things are running downhill. Not a good message for your business. So again, it's one of those cultural things. It's a thing to be aware of. It's a rule you can break. But if you think about tilting, generally thinking about tilting things counterclockwise will look better. Sharp angles also have a tremendous effect in how we feel about things. For instance, here's a logo for an amplifier company. I made these guys up. They make electric guitar amplifiers. And it's all about volume and it's all about attack. We want the sound, it's excitement. This particular logo with its curved forms, I don't think works. This one does. Sharp angles. And this beauty for Rock Band. One of the better logos I think I've ever seen. It's all about aggressiveness. Those sharp angles support the tension, the feel for this particular logo. Absolutely perfect. Look what happens to our Clarity guitar ad now when we change out typefaces. This typeface, Wide Latin, is all about sharp angles. Changes the feel of the ad. If I go to a typeface like Empire Script that has soft curved angles, everything changes. I'm not saying it's bad, but it totally changes the feel of the ad. Maybe it's what we want, maybe it's not.